We can begin. Am I right?
On my side, yes.
Paolo, you are ready as well?
Okay.
Great. My name is Amar, and I will briefly introduce you to the Sherlock Holmes Hall, a first day of our conference meetings. Today with us is the company entitled ISEO, with utility readiness during pandemic, keeping the lights on despite COVID-19 situation, title of their conference program. Mr. Jovic and Mr. Paolo will be hosting and leading this particular conference. Mr. Jovic is a technical and commercial assistant, while Paolo is area manager. The presentation itself will
Excuse me, can you hear me?
Yeah, cannot hear.
Yeah, we cannot hear Amar,
yes.
but we can hear you. Yeah. But Amar just froze.
Yeah.
Okay,
we are back live.
He's back.
And here he is. Yeah.
Okay.
The stage is yours, gentlemen. Please go forward.
Okay, thank you. Like Amar said, my name is Jovic, and I'm in myself sales and technical representative. Okay, today we prepared let's say the topic a little bit, we think interesting in this time of pandemic. So major, okay, the major or the focus on this presentation is mainly for utility managers, the managers who are responsible for critical infrastructure. So because of that, also the name, keeping the lights on despite COVID-19. So it means that the crucial infrastructure like lighting, the electricity, the water supply, the garbage, everything that is important, that life keeps on also despite of COVID-19 is going on. So of course, a lot of these utilities, a lot of these locations are remote, are not in the same buildings, are also in many of different areas, high on the hills or in the special, let's say, places. So it is important that also that access to those areas are available, and that we have all the traceability and secure access also in the event of pandemic. Okay, so we will go through the topics today: how to ensure service as a pandemic unfolds, COVID-19 challenges in the light of access control, who is ISEO Locan, which solution we will present today, references and customers of ISEO Locan. Then we will introduce the solution. We will introduce the hardware, what solution brings to the user, such as security, operation, and finances, and of course, in the end, questions. We are open for a question in English, but also in the local languages like Slovenian or Croatian, Bosnian, Serbian. So we are also allowed for this. So we said already that utility providers have social responsibility. A lot of companies such as water, sewage services, electricity, dams, natural gas supplies, transport infrastructure must work also stable in the times of pandemic or other crises. So already beginning in March 2020, when we have the, let's say, the first wave of pandemic, the Department of Homeland Security listed the important plants which are responsible that critical infrastructure work as it should. And they defined what the managers of this critical infrastructure needs to ensure that the utility providers provide all the necessary, let's say, major commodities to the people that their lives go on. So the main challenges for those providers was the ability to replace sick or missing employees, that there are no physical interaction between employees, that we secure the confident workplace, the healthy environments, and that the people who are, let's say, sick are expected to stay home and not to come to work. And of course, like I said, provide traceability and security, and to have also the clear and easy instruction for the users. So many companies, due to the health problem, need to use the contractor, mutual assistance from other companies, or to use the employees from other sectors or from other, let's say, location to be available for some other, for the location which are, let's say, problematic in the times. Like I said, for the access control for the utility providers for these commodities are majorly that the sites are multi-site, remote, and the distance. Many times without basic installation to install traditional access control systems, so no wiring, no internet connection, no power supplies for gates or fences. And the employees, and they need sometimes to use also the employees from other regions, or use the contractor to do the, let's say, maintenance of such or some equipments, and of course to replace the major or the main employees responsible for this facility. So, what is the main advantages in above I mentioned already? I mentioned crisis, COVID-19 crisis of ISEO and LOCAN are that we can provide traceability with easy and low cost installation. We can access to the software from anywhere, no special tools needed or specific restriction on one hand, and on the other hand, with a high level of security, we have two-factor authentication available. No handover of the key. Keys can be sent to anyone. So there is no, let's say, no fear of transmission of viruses or any disease. Access on demand. The access is uploaded over the smartphone without need of traveling or sharing the key. So when the responsible person is on the site, he can easily upload the access and access to the site. And access is on demand is also available. That let's say or the employee who is on the site or need to access somewhere, ask for access and he can get it. And of course, we have also crisis mode availability, so the administrator can easily add or restrict access for short time to individual person or group of persons. So, like I said, our resale lock-in solution is absolutely tailored for utility business. So, due to the specific design, there is no battery, no wire, and no maintenance, no spatial maintenance. It can be used on the remote side with no internet connections, no power supplies, can be easily installed on fences, doors, anywhere. The solution is mainly used by multi-sites companies, which remote sites are like utilities, telecom, energy supply, water supply, waste supply, gas supplies, banks, and company with several branches like food distribution, which needs to, let's say, in the morning access to each different facility or shop. The main drivers are get traceability of the access, not expensive installation, can be also done during the regular site maintenance, and no additional cost to travel specifically to the site or maintain it. Any question till now? I'm open also for any question. Okay. Can I ask, are there any participant except the, let's say, the hosts, like from
no, there is actually no one except me to ask you a question.
Okay, so shall I proceed, or
yeah, you can proceed. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I'll do so. Okay. Who is ISEO? ISEO is an ISEO Group is a company which is which headquarters are in Pisonia on the Lake Iseo in Italy, north of Italy. Had several subsidiary and let's say daughter companies all over the world. Our products are 100% produced and manufactured inside the company. So in our headquarters or in our, let's say we have multi-site subsidiaries. We have over 1,200 employees all over the world. So a little bit of history. Last year we have 50 years of our existence on the market. So we started from, let's say, from a mechanical cylinder and lock producer, and then we let's say develop into the group of companies which are now, you know, we have daughter companies in Spain, we have daughter companies in Romania, Germany, France, Middle East, Far East. So we are, let's say, a company which are now multinational and global present all over the world. The ISEO has, like I said, around 1,200 employees. We have our production or daughter companies in 10 countries, and our yearly turnover is around 140 million euro of turnover. We are absolutely expert in the hardware business, but also in the past years, let's say past 10 years, is ISEO present in electronic products, in access control. Our local specialized software company is already 20 years in electronic products dedicated for utility business. We are, let's say, a company which are, let's say, a best combination of mechanical electronic products combined. So we have always this double security, mechanical one and electronic one. References are that we are in many of different utility business, that we are securing the one of the most important, let's say, businesses in the world, from museums to the banks, to the, let's say, airports. Our references are, let's say, also Deutsche Bahn in Berlin, post offices. So let's say we are from telecom business to the let's say utility businesses in our plant. A little bit of ISEO, like I said, 15 years old, expert in critical and complex access control projects. From 2016 is a part of ISEO Group. We are solution provider with IT and services. Integration and developing of high-end offline access control, and also offline and online. We are security and operational management focused to change the cost that we are, let's say, providing not just the solution, but also providing the the solution which are in the long term securing our customers the saving cost and to be, let's say, to have top product on one hand, but also the saving cost on the other hand, and to be more and more, let's say, successful. A lot of companies and brands secure in Locan, from telecom business to food utility business, water supplies, banking, security companies. So a lot of companies all over the world. So let's go a little bit into the solution. It is, like we already said, secured solution. Why? Because we have a double security, so electronic and mechanical. Our ISEO F9000 cylinders are providing the on one hand electronic components, so electronic, let's say. How to find the right word, electronic security. So it is has to be electronically confirmed that the key is the right one, and also mechanically. We can do the time limitation. So after the time agreed time limits, the access is denied and it's not any longer available. We can have automatic deactivation validity, so it means that we can say that every morning our let's say user must exchange the validity and prolong it, and we have full audit trail. So whatever you need, you can check what was done by key or what was done by cylinder. It's absolutely easy to install. There is no cabling necessary on different type of the doors, of different type of the cylinders. So for the mailboxes, for the regular cylinder, knob cylinder, gates, padlock for the gates. So absolutely a wide range of cylinders available. So it's absolutely maintenance-free solution, so no need for cabling, no battery is on the lock, no access is on the lock. So, and it's we are using the contactless technology to transmit the power and the data. So it's inductive technology, which provide that there is no resistance or any wear or any weather condition can not limit the access. So although we don't use, I don't know, the padlock on these doors several months or year, there is no weather condition and no let's say no dust which cannot let's say which can deny us access. It's absolutely flexible solution, so access authorization is defined in the system for each individual separately. We can define the site, the time, the equipment, everything that the employee can individually open. So to reduce risk or exposure, like in the past, we gave someone a key or a master key, so he can open all the doors inside the utility. And user validates his credential using the smartphone before entering the site. So we can have also login, log out function that we know exactly when the access, let's say, started and when it ended. A little bit of the hardware. So basically, it is a software solution. When we, over the software, over the encrypted communication, between the let's say the validator, so this validator can be a fixed validator on the wall, like presented on the top or the mobile phone, we transfer the data to the key, and this encrypted communication each time when it's established, this encrypted communication go in both ways. So it means that the new data are transferred to the key, and all the data from the key are transferred back to the system, that we know exactly where the key was. So basically, we have the offline solution, which has all the benefits of the online, without wiring, of course. Energy is supplied, but through energy on the key. There is a battery on the key. All the communication is encrypted, like between two elements, like it was shown below before. So all the data is encrypted between communication between the phone and the key, but the key and the cylinder. Validation protocol access is there is exchange of property code between the key and the electronic cylinder. Audit the presence of the cylinder in the access list of the key. So the absolutely cylinder check if this key is available to open it, or not available, but permitted to open it. Then it's audit of the time slot. Absolutely, it's checked if this key can be used in this time slot, and the key sends the unlock code to the cylinder and it opens it. Authorization of the key rotation, this electronic cylinder via the solenoid. So it's after the key is confirmed, authorization of the key rotation is allowed. But of course, it must be also the right key. So also always must be also mechanically security must be confirmed. So everything what is happened, with every entering of the key, all the records and the events are transferred on the key and also are transferred and saved on the cylinder. On the principle, of course, 1,000 events on the key and 1,000 events on the cylinder on FIFO, so first in, first out. It's a mechatronic lock, so installation without any modification of the door or without any wiring. So contactless energy and data transfer through induction. Opening time when you enter the key. So this all communication is less than 80 milliseconds. So it means that the usage is the same like regular mechanical key. You don't feel any differences. Temperature range is from -20 to +60, so we can use it high in the mountains and it can freeze. It can be also in the desert or problematic environments with the high humidity. The solution has protection class IP66, IP67, IP68, and IP69. We will show later on the differences between different IP protection. It's absolutely compatible with the mechanical cylinder security, so we can combine it with standard mechanical cylinder security. So the most important doors can have electronic security, and then we can use the same key also opening just mechanical cylinder. So it's like we said, it's dual security. Power is supplied over the battery. It's contactless, no dust, salt interference. So it's proved reliability, really natural, quick opening time. Battery life is over 5 years. For Bluetooth version, so the version when we can validate the key over the smartphone, or 10 years when we validate the key over the wall readers. So we record the last 1,000 events on the key and on the cylinder. The highest IP protection, the highest impact protection. So the key can be thrown, let's say, can fall on the floors or whatever, and there will be no problem with it. Management of the validity of the key, so from 1 minute to unlimited time. So it means that the key we can also define the that we have just one-time entrance. And of course, we can also incorporate RFID readers or in the systems, so we can have also a double, let's say, different credential, different solutions. We can use mobile credential, RFID tags, or this F9000 Key Plus electronic solution in very big and complex security systems. So authorizers are, of course, everything is inside the let's say, modem. So we need a modem to communicate over the readers, which can be these collective readers, we can be wall readers or frame-mounted desktop reader tablets, and of course we have individual authorizer like a smartphone. Like we said, it's the highest grades of mechatronic standards of the security. So it's durability, it's maximum durability of over 100,000 tech cycle. It is we can use the cylinder for fire and smoke door assemblies. It's the highest rate of the environmental resistance. So for corrosion, water protection, dry heat, cooled, dump heat. So everything for mechatronic part of the cylinder and the mechatronic key are the highest grades. Then we have, of course, mechanical key related security. So it is for regarding the torque resistance, the drilling resistance and everything. And of course, electronic key has the highest grade of electronic code. So even over 1 billion communication shall be protected. So it's really highest grade. System management is on the highest grade. So we have audit tray capacity and time zone. So we know everything about what's happening with the cylinder and the key. We have the highest attack resistance over so it means against drilling, chiseling, twisting, plugs, torque of plug, hits, vibration, voltage, electrostatic, magnetic field. So we can really, it's the highest possible mechatronic cylinder protection. Of course, like we said, also the highest water and dust protection. So it's, although it is on the most, let's say, rigid and demanding environments, there is no fear that our solution will not work when needed. So IP6 is the highest dust tight. So, and then we have the highest protection against water. So it means IP66 means splashing with a high pressure from 3 meter distance. So IP67, it means 30 minutes in 1 minute, 30 minutes in 1 meter of water. So totally penetrated inside the water. So then we have 60 minutes IP68, so it means 60 minutes in 5 meter depth of the water. And then we have IP69, so it means a splashing from the power jet from 50 centimeters distance. So it's, and with the high temperature of 80 degrees. So it means basically this cylinder you can also can be left inside the, I don't know, wash machine, and it will still work. So again, the solution, security, like we said. So no fear about lost keys or stolen keys. So we can automatically easy disable keys. So you can do it the employee can do it. So if you don't know where your keys was lost, so you can easily over the app, let's say, disable the key. Also, if you find it back, you can return it back to the normal work, but of course over the system administrator. We have all audit capability, so we can see exactly who enter our promises. We can do through that also reduce thefts by the people who have the access. Like, I don't know, like access to medicament in hospitals. We can have geographical tracking. We can see for each opening, also on the geographically, where the who and where this key was used. We have also audit capability gives us a possibility to reduce overbilling. If we have also outside contractors, we know exactly how much time they spend on the site, and they cannot overbill us for the maintenance. We have absolutely several operation solutions, like access on demand, so remote update. So like presented on this picture, if we have, I don't know, employee who is not able to come to the work, but we need to do some maintenance work on the remote side, we can absolutely send this let's say access to the other employee or to the contractor, and give him also the job description through the solution, and we can easily let's say transfer this to the new contractor. We have a principle of missions. So what does it mean? Reduce number of required keys. So it means that many, let's say, many different person can use the key. So it means also we can open the mission. Let's say we have let's say we have an urgent job on the site, and we have many contractors, but we don't know which one is available or the closest to the site. We can open the mission, so access right is provided by codes, and any, let's say, any of this contractor who gets the code can enter or start the mission, says, I'll do the job, I will do this job, go to the site, finish it. So we really connect the access also with the task, with the mission. So it's not that we have, let's say, a permanent, or we need to find the dedicated person. We can give it to many persons and who decide to do it, or who is the closest, or who has time, can use it, and then for other, the mission is already closed. Like I said, we have remote access management, so access to the software from anywhere. So there is no physical interactions between the keys or the access. So everything can be done remotely. So, like I said, in the time of pandemic, it is important that there is as much as possible reduce the interaction between the people and personnel. Also, our solution provide no failed access. Why? There is no distribution of several keys, so our employees no need to go for the key, take the wrong key, checking if this is the right key or not. Also, ability to check before we go. We can check the battery, we can check the validity, we can check access and shadow. So everything can be checked before we go to the remote site. So there is, if we don't check it, then it's, you know, the fault of the contractor and not the fault of the system. So no overbilling. So in the end, if we draw the line, the finances due to easy and cheap installation without no maintenance costs, and with the reduced operational costs, we can easily save money. And exactly what is our feedback from current customers are that those solution availability and different apps that we developed for the dedicated customers are transferring access control to the live, let's say, live operational system, which provide not just access but also provide billings, management of the employee, management of the management of the stuff of the contractor. So in the end, as little as possible of administration, we use our software, not just, like I said, for the access control, but also for the operational and as a live system for to provide us easier, let's say, open operation of the site, multi-site. Okay, questions? Any questions? We have any participants? We are still alone.
Yes, yes. We will ask questions at the very end of this session. So you just need like 4 or 5 minutes for you to answer those. Is that okay?
Sorry?
We plan to ask questions at the end, at the very end of this session.
Okay, okay. So, but I am on the end. So what's the time? Okay, we have still 10, 15 minutes. Shall we wait or? Yeah, okay, I'll.
Nevertheless, your colleague Paolo, is he going to present something as well, add to your presentation, or the presentation is over?
The presentation is over.
Okay. Before I check once again for all of those questions, can you just summarize the main benefits of the system itself, just in a few points?
Like I said, so the benefits, again, we are coming back. In time of COVID-19, we have, let's say, our utility business, it's quite demanding. So if we go to the traditional access control, like through the keys, there is a lot of interaction between people. So there is a big risk of transfer of the disease. So we need to minimize as much as possible of any interaction of between the people. So what's the benefit of the system is the software. So basically the system administrator can easily access to the system from anywhere. So he can add the access control to the contractor, to the outside people, to the other people without any, let's say, interaction. And on the other hand, the people which have access, we also provide the traceability. So we know exactly who and when access to our remote sites. So we have all the benefits of the traceability. So also in the event of pandemic, we don't lose the access and we don't lose the traceability. It's no need, let's say, for let's say, panic, because our solution can provide us all this what is crucial for the secure access.
All understood. Actually, you answered my second question during your outline within this summarization. It was in regard to traceability. Nevertheless, I don't see any more questions on our chat. Therefore, I would like to thank you all for this presentation on behalf of our visitors. If you have anything else to add, say hi or actually greet them at the very end, please do. Nevertheless, thank you on our behalf as well from the Security Summit team.
Thank you. We are open. You will see our contact data on our booth or our. So if there is any question regarding the mechanical or electronic product of of ESL, you are more than welcome. We are open for any, let's say, interaction, any feedback. Like I said, the major presentation was regarding the utility business, but ESL has a wide range also for the small businesses, for the individual, let's say, smart homes, also solutions. So very welcome to come to our booth to check our products range, and we are open for any question or any feedbacks. Thank you.
All good. At the very end, I would also like to invite all gentlemen and ladies who watch this presentation to not only visit your virtual booth, but if they perhaps don't have really time right now to schedule a meeting with you, to use an option connect with the exhibitor in the left upper corner, where they will actually send you all contact business related information for you, so you have a possibility to connect with them later on after business hours as well. Nevertheless, Mr. Jovica, Mr. Paolo, thank you very much for this presentation.
Thank you.
Looking forward to hearing from you once again within our next virtual event that we plan in 2021.
Okay, thank you. Wish you all the
All
best.
the best.
Bye-bye.
Hello, Paolo. Can you hear us?
Hi, Paolo. Can you hear me?
It looks like Paolo is still connecting. We'll wait a couple of more minutes.
Poslat ću mu ja poruku u čatu direktno, tako da
Okay.
provjerim.
Moguće su neozbiljni toliko ovi za B2B. Evo još jedna firma kaže 3 sesije, niko se nije pojavio.
I think Mr. Paolo didn't accept the audio source for the Zoom. I think his mic isn't set up or something.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, now we can
perfect.
hear you and we can see you. Okay, that's great.
Okay, perfect. Great.
Hi. How are you today?
I'm fine. A little bit cold, so sorry for this, but so that is the season, you know.
Nevertheless, here in Sarajevo, Bosnia, it's really warm weather.
Yeah, so that it here we have a fog. I'm in the north of Italy, so close to Milan. So and it's not sunny like the picture on behind me, but that it's so because little foggy day today. So that it.
Nevertheless, it's not supposed to be sunny in November. I mean, I remember that I used to, like a kid, 50, 20 years ago, played in the snow for all days.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
yeah, but
it's
quite.
completely
I
different.
remember also that here when we have been at Adria Summit on the sea border, that has been really good. Now it's everything virtual, so no good at all. So, by the way, that is life, you know.
I understood. I understood. I'll just adjust my team. Can we go live so I can introduce
Yeah.
Mr. Paul?
Actually, we are live, but I would just ask Paolo to share his presentation with us just to see if everything works.
Okay. Paulo, you have host privileges, so you can share presentation just to the test.
Yeah. So
time.
now I have the presentation. How I can share it? So
in the middle, there is like a green button that says share screen. On the bottom of your screen, in the middle, there should be.
On the bottom.
Yeah, if you enter the full screen Zoom.
Okay.
Within the Zoom window. Within the Zoom window.
Okay.
It stands out. It's the only green button.
Okay. That's the moment. Zoom window. That's it. Oh shit! It's not.
I think we lost Paolo. He got disconnected.
Vi måste, vi har rätt att köra samma liv i så kört.
Ma da. Okay, evo tu je. Okay, Paolo, you're back.
Okay. Okay. It looks like unable to connect. Please check your network connection. It's perfect connected.
You are live now. Do you want me to take a picture of the button that you need to press? Let me prepare a picture for you.
No.
Okay, thank you. Now it's okay?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, now everything works fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, so good. Yeah.
So, Paul, I will just briefly introduce your company and your presentation for today. Then you can proceed. Afterwards, if there are any questions, we will just over to you. Is that fine with you? The schedule is okay?
I saw that I have also a panel where I can control questions. So, by the way, if you address to me, it's perfect, no problem at all. So,
ladies and gentlemen, today with us in our second session with Inside Events, actually Sherlock Holmes Hall, we have Mr. Paolo from HID Global Company. The title of the presentation is Making the Move to Mobile for Physical Access Control. Mr. Paolo is an user business manager and he is currently obtaining that position. The presentation will address the following matter: whether you are considering using a mobile access solution exclusively or as a combination of smart cards and mobile devices as part of your physical access control system. Mr. Paolo will, at this virtual side event, discover the best route to take in migrating to a mobile solution. All of our participants will be able to discover the new mobile-ready HID Sigil reader range and how it provides a smarter, more connected access control experience. Mr. Paolo, welcome to the Security Summit 2020. The stage is yours. Please enjoy. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you a lot. Welcome to all of you. And good afternoon to everyone. I'm in charge, area sales manager for Adria right now, but I'm moving to end user manager for Europe. So from next January. So a brief agenda. What we would like to do, like HID, on this speeches and roundtable that we have is to take a journey with you and move through access control and new identification solution. And yeah, we are moving from the beginning to the end on Thursday with my colleague Taylor on localization. So little agenda, evolution of credential technology. So we will start from the beginning. Senior era, new era that is now on the market, and yeah, a brief entrance on the mobile access. So what is the mobile access? What we are meaning like mobile credential and so on. And yeah, and let's see a little practice how to get your site or a site from all the technology to mobile ready. Okay, and at the end we have a little introduction in something that is Origo, the new portal for managing mobile credential, and not only but also localization and so on. And at the end we have a brief question and answer. I will try don't boring you for 1 hour because it's a lot of time. So let's start. So let's talk about a little bit regarding the evolution of credential. What is the credential? Credential is what identify me. So now it's based on cards, badges, but not only. So we started on 1970 with the MagStripe, moving to low frequency card, where the technology has been based on 125 kilohertz technology and single chip and single number. And around 2000, we arrived with high frequency smart card with a memory inside. And 2010, we arrived at encrypted solution. So smart card also in 1356 megahertz, but more secure. And we are today with a new generation. It's not a new generation because starting in 2040, something like that, 14, like something like that, 2015, something like that, with the microprocessor and mobile device like credentials. So it's a long trip. We have around something like a 40 years old trip. And we have already in the field, still on the field, some low frequency card and some MagStripe card. So in order to, and during our journey, we will see also how to move from this kind of low frequency first technology to the new one. Okay, close the credential, there are the readers. So readers that need to reading what inside the badges and decrypt the credentials. So we started like for what we saw before on the first generation with a low frequency. We are not including also MagStripe reader because so it's something really old, and I don't have so much spaces in my PowerPoint to put also MagStripe reader. By the way, we start with the first generation with only prox readers, and it is HID, Indala, MRN, and so on. On second generation, we moved on smart card with the memory and high-class readers like a reader from this side. We are talking about only access control reader, but there are a lot of readers that are proposing to address some other application. By the way, we are talking about access control reader. So this kind of reader are single technology readers, so reading or low frequency or high frequency. We arrived at third, fourth generation with multi-class readers that can read everything. So they can read a low frequency, high frequency, plus NFC, plus Bluetooth. What is coming? So, and by the way, the continuum go forward because the new need on the organization are to read a card, to read a smartphone, and this credential on smartphone are delivered by the air, okay? So it's connected by a cloud. And as we saw before, who participated at Stephen Commander speeches, we have also new buses that is coming, not more the old vegan, but the new SDP, more intelligent bidirectional buses and crypted and high security buses. So we are addressing some new need from the organization, plus new need from the users who is using the credentials. So they are asking for superior user experience or improve reader performance across a wide range of credential type. As we saw before on the credential status, we have a lot of different credentials on the field, a lot of technology. And the user is waiting that each technology is working on the same level. So if I have 10 centimeter with one card, doesn't matter about which kind of credential and which kind of technology inside. They would like for all the card the same reading range. So, and also if I'm using a new smartphone, okay, that I have in the hand, I would like to have the same reading range for all the type of all this smartphone. It's not easy. We are asking, the new user is asking also for secure communication, cryptography inside the buses, because it's not important only the security of the credential, but also the security of the bus that transport the data. A new credential security is about a new credential that is coming on the market, but also some feature that are like velocity checking in order to protect from force attacks that could be on the field. And of course, go green is something that everyone is asking for. So intelligent power management and recycling materials is only few of the requests that is coming from the user. And a new security and safety need. So need also to address some requests that are touchless experience, especially on this time, or biometric new requests. So if we come back a little bit to the old one presentation, that are the best in class at the moment, like readers, but they cannot answer to all the requests that we have here. Or better, they can request to all the requests with a lot of options. So need something new. Also, there is a new future-proof request that is new capabilities available through firmware update, and to have the flexibility of choice. So that it is not something only for one country or one continent, but I can find out everywhere, this kind of feature. And of course, mobile ready. Everyone is talking about Apple ACP, support for Apple Wallet, Bluetooth, NFC. So, and now there is a new 5G and something different. And of course, also simple on file upgrade. So that meaning that if I put something in front of my door, I don't need to change it when the technology changes, but I can upgrade easily on the field. So in order to answer to all the requests, I need a change and have new readers, not a new credential that will come, but new readers that can address all we have now in one readers and have the option to be implemented on the field for something that will come in the future. Is here that HID introducing HID senior readers. So the previous class of readers is the most is the best class on the market right now, and now there is a new class that will take everything we have, all the experience that we address by SC reader in one reader like standard. So meaning that all the option that you can have with SC reader, you can have like standard inside the new senior reader family. So there is also a new design that change a little bit respect what we provided for the last 30 years on the market. And by the way, is really a new family with only 2 4-factor and 4 different reader. We will have also a new bio reader that is coming. We will have some option on the future, but they are really future-proof readers because we can add some new technology on the field really fast. So at the end, what senior bring on the table? So versatility, that is meaning flexible, intuitive configuration. And yeah, the idea is to have something that could be used for all the technology at the same time. And maybe when I move from one technology, one old technology to a new one, I can switch off this the older technology and maintain only the new one. And by the way, maybe I can change also the channel, the communication channel between the reader and the controller. I don't know, move from vegan to more secure OSTP, and I can do it without change the reader on the door. So it's something really, really more flexible and also need and we need also intuitive configuration and more simple to configure also on the field. So this reader, you can configure this reader by some app, reader named Reader Manager, or directly by OSTP buses where present. Senior have also the marker reference like performance, so it's really powerful. You can read at the same time all the technology, different technology, and reading from low frequency to Bluetooth credential, or also NFC in emulation like MyFair or the Spire technology that someone is still using. So it's connected, it's more connected, so meaning that have more channel directly inside the reader that can be could be updated and can be configured. So it's really simple, this new family to update on the field, thanks to firmware upgrade. The unmatched versatility, we talk about different credentials that you can read at the same time. So you move from a low frequency and MRN in DALA HID procs to last COS high secure technology to the Sphere AV1, AV2, and pass through MyFair Classic and so on. So depending on, it's really easy to, with this kind of family to move and to change the technology, to adapt the solution, the security solution to what I have in the field and what I would like to reach like security. Because it's important to know that the security of access control is coming from the security of the credentials. So I can have the best in place like software, like controller, but if I can clone the credential easily, I don't have a secure access control solution. Powerful performance, superior user experience. So the experience on this, the user experience on those readers family is coming from a lot of years of experience with the C readers family. So we fix all the requests that we received from the customer, from the user. And we have something like a automatic metal detection inside the reader, so that the reader can detect the surface where installed. But we have also a beacon inside the reader that can wake up, for example, Bluetooth app when close to the reader. So the reader knows that there is someone that have a mobile credential and is ready to read this kind of mobile credential when presented. So that is meaning that the user can have a really nice experience when in front of the reader. Security communication, as we told before, reader support OSDP secure channel communication V1 and V2. So, and that is really good from my point of view, the best feature that we can offer in one reader. A best in class like security. I spoke before that we have some different way and some different technology inside the reader in order to check the attacks, and also the crypto key are inside a secure, certified secure element. So it's really difficult. It's impossible at the moment to keep outside the reader the secret inside, like a key and the information regarding the crypto usage. Intelligent mode, IPM, and energy saving, and more recycled materials for build this reader is something that help inside the green request of many building at the moment. And of course, IP65 is the minimum request for outside installing, and that is inside. Connect to the future, choice of flexibility. This reader are deployed at the same time, at the same level, everywhere in the world, and is under all the regulation around the world. Mobile ready, meaning that have inside already Bluetooth antenna, NFC, and feature like Apple enhanced contact and polling for credential based on Apple Wallet. So here we have the best in place from technology point of view. Really simple on field upgrade by Reader Manager app, controlled directly from the security manager. So the security manager gives the rights to the people for maintenance, for installing, can upgrade or change the functionality inside the users. So, and easy migration. So meaning that is easy to move from one technology to another one, or when I have some new company acquired with a different card technology or different credential technology, I can update the reader to read this kind of new technology, and don't change all the badges to the new company. So it's really good and money save research, this one. So we talk a lot regarding Bluetooth and NFC, and regarding credential based on mobile. Let's see what the market is telling us based on this. So the market is telling that, the market research is telling that from 2018, we have something like below 10 million people that have, something like 3 million people that have credential downloads. So, and now at 2020, close 2021, where we are around 20 million, so big growth. And I can tell you that is more than this. So for this time, touchless solution is really important. So this kind of solution and mobile credential are more and more requested, because permit to receive the credential directly on the smartphone without anyone touch the badges. So I have a virtual badges directly from the end user on my smartphone, from the security manager inside the smartphone, from the visitors management software directly to my smartphone. And there is not a hand between the badge deploy. So it's a really untouchless solution. On 2021 and 2022, so we in 2020 we are around 90 million people that will use mobile credential. I think that will be more. So what are the elements based on mobile access? So we spoke regarding download. So there is something that need to be downloaded for sure. So what are the elements that contribute to mobile access? So mobile access is based on normally our solution, HID solution, is based in a cloud service that provide a trusted virtual credential for authentication to physical access and extended application in workplaces. I'm reading what inside the PowerPoint because it's exactly what we intend like mobile access. So it's something on the cloud, is a service that send mobile credential, trusted, so secure mobile credential that coming from a trusted site and by a trusted channel. So this mobile credential, when the cloud built this mobile credential, is secure and is sending by secure way inside the mobile secure element. So the mobile phone or mobile device secure element. And is something only for this device. So it's something really, really secure. It's the most secure credential that you can have on the market. The components are four, really simple. Portal, that is a cloud that where we can deploy the credential, and the end user or the system integrator can deploy and manage the credentials. So what the meaning for deploy credential? Meaning that if I would like to deploy to build a credential that is the number 100, okay, with this portal, I give all the information to deploy number 100. So it's really simple. It's like if I built a card, a plastic card with inside a chip, but it's something virtual, really, really simple. And we have a mobile app that communicate between the portal in order to receive this mobile, the mobile credential.
Mr. Paolo, we can't hear you anymore.
The reader can read something that's coming from Bluetooth transmission or NFC transmission. Okay. Let's go inside. So HID mobile access portal is something that at the moment looks like that. Okay, something in the cloud that is the main page where I can see some information, some report regarding how many people are using the device, how many I deployed, what are the credentials that I can manage, and so on. And yeah, the important thing is that this is something standalone that I can check like administration from my iPad, from my smartphone, from my PC, but normally it's not so much used because the access control solutions are connected directly by API to this kind of portal. So it's something that I'm showing you because a part of the mobile environment, but it's something that not so much used because it's something that is connected to the access control solution. So, and yeah, the important thing is that each mobile portal have assigned a mob key. The mob key is something that really simply is differentiated the different end user and different portals. So it's something that is differentiated one end user from another. It's like a digital signature of my credentials. So when I send a credential from my portal have my digital signature. So it's really relevant from security point of view. The second part is the app that you can download directly from Google Play or Apple Store, and is something that working fine from iOS 7 and Android 4.4 in every devices that are using this operative system. So those are operative systems. So no problem from device, which kind of device. It could be an Apple Watch, could be a sample Android Watch, could be a iPad, could be everything. Okay, so need only a 4G or a Wi-Fi connection with the portal in order to receive the mobile credential. And mobile ID. I can have many mobile IDs inside my mobile phone, because I can have a lot of different applications signed by the mobile key that sent this credential. You can have a picture inside the credential, you can have a logo, you can have everything. It's like if I have a normal plastic card. This mobile ID, my number, cannot be copied or transferred. Okay, so if I change the SIM, I need a new mobile. I cannot transfer it by SIM my mobile ID, because it is inside the secure element of the mobile phone, so rest on the mobile phone. I can revoke, and I can send a new mobile IDs. It's really, really secure and trusted technology. Mobile ID, and so there is also that can have the same format in use on the access control. So it's something more technical. By the way, what I can tell you that no need to change the access control in place to use a mobile credential. Need only maybe sometime to change the reader or update the reader. But no need to change everything is the infrastructure around the reader. So, and mobile reader, of course, is the last of the four pieces. So mobile reader is something that is able to read all the technology plus NFC and Bluetooth. So you can work in tap for close range, so meaning that I present my mobile phone in front of the reader, or twist and go for long range.
Ja dobiję link za Sherlock Holmes i kad sam kliknuo direktno sve uzmem.
Okay.
Sasha, your microphone is on. Could you please just mute it?
Okay, thank you. So what inside this communication channel, NFC and Bluetooth are standard inside the new senior reader, is not an option. So let's see the trip for mobile access. 4 easy steps. First, open a user portal, Origo portal. In order to open this, you can do it directly by link on internet, and you can open your own portal. So it's for free. What's changing is when I put inside the user of this portal, okay, and send the mobile ID transferred by here, okay, by 4G, 5G communication or Wi-Fi, okay, and transfer it directly on the mobile device. Here we can see a mobile phone, but it could be an Apple Watch, could be Android Watch, could be a tablet, could be everything. Okay, could be also I saw some new wristband like sports wristband that are able to receive this mobile credential, and the reader and the access control solution. So it's really simple. Okay, to mode of operation, tap, close the door, and twist and go. To use that twist and go, you can reach something like from 9 meter to 12 meter with some powerful solutions. So with the device that you have in the hand, you can move from 9 meters to 12 meters. So with this twist and go, you are able to open door or to open gate from distance. So it's in a really secure mode and secure way. You have also some widget, okay, 3D touch that you can have directly on your smartwatch or directly on your mobile phone. Okay. And of course, some Android Wear and Apple Watch that is something really cool to use. Okay, some benefits from mobile access. So as you can see, the benefits are really, really important for the end user. Convenience, because I can deliver credential by the air efficiently for what before. So if I'm outside the door and I don't have my badges, in few seconds I can receive my badges when the security manager or the guard recognize you and open the door. And security is the most secure solution at the moment on the market. So from cloud point of view, from credential point of view, from security channel point of view, and it's not something that I'm telling you, is something well documented inside our website. Inside our website, you can find out the link in order to have all this information regarding security of the cloud and the credentials. Okay, convenience. So as I told you, no need to carry badges, but also there is something before that is the deploy of a plastic credential that sometimes takes some days. So when I order it, the fabric built it and sent back. So normally will take some days or some weeks. So and the distribution over the air it's really efficient. So in few seconds I can receive my credential. I can track who received the credential, who is waiting, who, and what's happened. And security, yeah, it's based on CIOS technology, so the best in class at the moment for physical access, but not only, for all what about identification. So, and because CIOS is based on something software, it's really simple to address some vulnerabilities and find the right solution. Okay. Yeah, we have something that is at the moment the state of the art of cloud hosting. Is scalable, so we can have different administrators for a single portal. We can have a different credential inside a single portal. You think that if you are an end user and you have some different sites with a different format for credential, inside your portal you can have a different type of credential based on the format that you have on remote site, and send it to the user that need to enter on the different site. So it's simple and really convenient way. Instead to have 4 cards on the pockets, you have only 4 virtual cards inside your smartphone. And you don't need to select, because the reader is able to take only what he needs. So nothing outside what he needs, thanks to the mob key. Simple integration by API for the portal and SDK for the app. So what I show you is something standard, is the standard mobile app from HID. But there are a lot of end user, big organizations that have their own app for manage buildings. And yeah, you can put by SDK this feature inside the own app that is managing the building. So you think some app that you can manage the booking of the room, conference, you can pay for vending machine. So you can do everything at the same time with different credentials based on HID mobile portal. So, and there are some new features that is a photo ID, so you can have on your mobile credential also the picture and not only the logo and so on. And yeah, and the security manager can enforce the security directly from the portal. I don't know. Normally, you can have that you can open the door without unlocking your mobile phone, or only to unlock the mobile phone without the badges on foreground, on first in front of you. But you can also, the security manager can also enforce this policy and tell from some day or from some hour that you need for entering to unlock the mobile phone or to unlock your device or to have the badges in foreground. So that is what is delivering based on the experience of our customer and our partners. Okay, so we saw a lot of things right now. So something really for some of you really new, but so that is normal. And now let's see how to migrate from old technology or to use a new mobile solution. So what are the best practices that we put in place normally with our partners? So a site survey and complete inventory of existing technology. The first step, continue to support a few of the legacy technology as possible. So meaning that what is difficult to change are not the reader on the wall because they stay on the wall, but is to change the card in the end of the employee or the user. So meaning that normally legacy technology will rest on the land. So the old badges will rest on the first phase in the end of the user. Choose a new solution for access for mobile access and start small with a small POC that will involve a small site, a small quantity of people. And if everything is fixed, okay, for one building that needed to be repeated and go forward on this way. So, and of course, need to build something like a right business case with also some budget to do this. So it's not how to upgrade. So sorry, need to move my window because is something that hide the rest of my presentation. By the way, establish a standard, upgrade the reader, replace credentials. So, and let's see what meaning. We can move through some multi-technology credentials. So that is something that we can do, but sometimes it costs a lot because multi-technology credential is something that can accelerate the transition. And by the way, it's not here you can see a card with inside quite all the technology, but have a really high cost. If we can invest on that, that could be the right way. But we can also stay at option one, single technology card. I don't know, here you can see something in the scheme that could be a low frequency readers, okay, with a low frequency user card. I have some other, okay, and for the third site, I will change the reader. I will put something new. Here is a new SC, but could be a new senior. I don't have the picture of the new senior, but could be a new senior. And with NFC, LF, low frequency, and Bluetooth, because inside the new reader, you have all the technologies. So the old card holder can enter also on this site because I can read low frequency. And I have all the people in this building with all technology. So I change all the reader on all the sites. And after that, I can change all the credentials. So step by step, based on the budget that I have time by time. And when everything is finished, so the deploy, I can switch off the low frequency and move to something more secure. That should be new high frequency technology with a microprocessor like CIOS. Multi-technology card is quite the same. So by multi-technology card, I will start to change reader and card on the new site. And so that this blue card holder can enter inside the old reader, and this red card holder can enter in the new reader. And after that, I will change the reader. And after, I will start to change all the credentials. And when finished, I switch off the low frequency or the technology more unsecure. Okay, so here we are quite at the end of the presentation, so it's a long time. Huh? Let's talk about the Origo platform. What is Origo? We talk about something on cloud. So when we talk about cloud, there is someone that cloud is something tricky, there are some information, there is something that needs to protect GDPR, penetration test, and so on. So Origo is something the trusted place on the market where to put information. So, and is based on API first approach. So it's not something that has been built for working standalone, but it's something that is built for working like a service. In fact, it is only the place where we are building the mobile credentials. No more. It's like if you have a plastic fabric where they embedded the chip inside the plastic. Here is building on only mobile credentials. So it's something pretty simple from this point of view. And it's for that is a service, because you are not able to manage access control by this service. Is only for delivery and manage the credential, no more. I will jump a little bit over because too much technical something. So HID Origo is not only for mobile access, mobile identity, but it's also for location service and connected architectures. What meaning connected architecture? If I would like to have access control on cloud, and some of our partners maybe have some solution on cloud, we can give a part of Origo in order to build their own access control on cloud. So it's open to third-party because it's API and SDK first based solution. Origo is responding to all the requests by GDPR, and also it's normally under penetration test that is we doing normally each based on term based. So, and we provide this information to our partners and end user that is using that. So it's a really secure place where to put information. Okay, really simple. We have Origo platform. There is a HID Origo management portal that is on the end of the credential admin that and produce the mobile ID, sending to the device, and the device presented on front of the reader by NFC or Bluetooth. The first way that the reader can see able to transmit something will be what where the transmission will be for the credential. But we have also physical access control here. But the important thing is that we have API. So when we produce a new mobile credential, virtual credential, in the same time, I have this information inside the physical access control, and I can give to this credential all the right for access to my doors. So it's something, and all the most important access control or software provider have this kind of connection. And the second thing that we can provide, it's the SDK app. The SDK app, it's really important in order to customize and tailorize your app. So as you saw before, normally we have a mobile access, HID mobile access app, but we are pushing our partner to use their own app. It's really simple to embed this solution inside a building management app that they are using. And we have some partner that, for example, is providing this like service to the main user. Okay, so that is the architecture with Origo platform. And what I can tell you here is something based on a request, and is normally question that we receive. It's sorry.
Just a brief note on your side that we are approaching the end of this presentation. We have 15 more minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But okay. We have a finish at I think in 5 minutes, something like that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So the idea around the Origo is to build, we have now a bigger ecosystem that is not providing only access control, mobile ID or mobile credential, but are providing also credentials for all the application used inside the building. That should be vending, that should be logical access application, should be everything need your secure credential. Also from different part of the corporation. So meaning that, for example, you have your mobile credential for access control and time attendance that is coming from the chat. But you have also credentials that are coming from the logistic in order to have the access to your car or something that you are using normally for driving and go around inside your building. Okay. HID mobile access is totally technology agnostic, and is not a problem regarding the platform. So you can move to Android, to Apple, have a mix and match of these devices on the field inside the same environment without any problem. It's totally independent from the technology. So now we are talking about Bluetooth and NFC, but ultra-wideband is coming, so a lot of new technologies coming. So, and that is help us to be, and our partner will more flexible, and you can use the reader for a long time closed outside the door. And yeah, open channel is something non-proprietary that we have, so you can buy, you can find these products everywhere at the same level in worldwide, so that is not a big issue. So some glossary, but that is something that I can provide you. So is something that you can retain with you when talking about the mobile solution. And okay, that is the last one. Questions?
Thank you, Paolo, for this insightful presentation on your side. You were really busy and hardworking for this past hour. At the moment, I have collected 2 questions, so
yeah.
They are pretty generic ones, so it will be easy for you to answer, and you can elaborate even further because we have 10 more minutes on your side. The first one is in regard to sign reader. Someone asks, which is the best practice that you would single out for this particular product?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Which best practice of sign reader would you single out, emphasize best practice?
What meaning? So that it's I don't understand what meaning really well. So
the question states like this: which best practice of sign reader would you single out?
So you can use everywhere. So it's for every technology. So it's the state of the art of the technology at the moment. So there are not some best practices. You can use where, for example, you need to be beep. So you present the card and the reader needed to beep, or to in some places where you have a really high level of security at the same time. Is not a big issue because you can customize and tailorize this reader around the environment where you are using this reader. So you can take a standard reader, and that is the idea, to provide to the market to a standard reader with everything inside. And based on what are your needs, you can tailorize this reader to read only secure technology to CIOs. So for example, you can close only around CIOs, or you can read many technology at the same time. I don't know, I can give you an idea. So for example, you can have a building with inside 10 different company with different mobile credentials. So you can have on the lobby some turnstile with this reader on top. And of course, you need to read all the credentials at the lobby because everyone needs to go at the floor. But outside each single floor or each single company, you have only the technology that can enter inside. So it is a different level of security, that is for sure, but that is flexible. So when on the future something changes, you can adapt the reader locally on field by OSDP buses, or if you don't have the new OSDP buses, by reader manager directly on site without any problem.
Understood. Thank you for the details.
Yeah.
The second question is similar in nature. It says, what single benefit of Origo would you emphasize?
So, for Origo, I can tell that all our partners love the flexibility. So it's simple and flexible. So my idea has been to receive many questions from a security point of view, but it's not this. It's something really flexible that is working every time, 24 hours and 7 days per week. So that is something that helps the organization to provide in short time mobile credentials for entering, not only to employee, but also to visitors. If you think when you receive a visit, you can receive your mobile connection directly on your smartphone or your mobile devices. And when the visit is finished, that the system takes back mobile connection. Okay, so it's really flexible, fast, and available. So that is what I can tell.
Understood. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I would like just to briefly remind our visitors to visit you at your virtual booth stand, to actually join and schedule online B2B meetings to find out another interested and useful information for them. I would also like to pinpoint that you are a platinum sponsor of this event. So it speaks a lot about your engagement and your authority in this field, in this industry. Nevertheless, please greet for the very end all the visitors. On behalf of our Security Summit team, thank you once again.
Thank you to all. Thank you. Thank you.
Great. All the best.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye, Paolo.
Bye.
Sasha, can you hear us?
Hey, Sasha.
Sasha will have a colleague to join us as well.
Yes, he should. He's waiting for the host to approve him.
Yeah, he's been approved. Peter has been approved.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Hi.
Okay, Peter, can you turn on your camera? Sasha, you too, just to see if everything works.
Sorry, I don't have.
You cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
Okay. Let me just
I don't have a camera. I just have audio.
If I understood correctly, Peter, you will be the first one to present, then Sasha will continue. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Great. Peter, perhaps you can share the screen immediately so we can test that part as well.
How to do is share the screen. Yeah.
At the very bottom, green button.
And what do you recommend? The whole screen or just the application?
Just the application. Yeah. So, I think that just the application would be okay.
Just the application.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, you know, if you share your full screen, we can catch a glimpse of your background and everything that's been going on there. So.
Okay. So how does it look?
It looks okay if you could put it in a full screen just to confirm. And okay, that's great.
Gentlemen, I will just briefly introduce you within 2 to 3 minutes regarding the company and the presentation that you will hold. Then you can proceed forward. Is that okay with you?
Yes, this is okay. And could I only try to share my screen too?
Please do.
Okay.
Yeah, please do. And Peter, you will have to stop sharing your screen so he can share his.
Both Peter and Sasha, both of you are hosts at the moment. Prior to one of you who needs to share screen, the colleague needs to stop.
Okay, Sasha's screen, but it's not in the full screen. Can you put it in a full screen?
Can I do only a portion of screen? Like this?
Yeah, it's not really visible.
Yeah, it will be.
It's cut it out. It's still cut it out. I mean, I can see.
Right now?
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This one looks okay. Can you just go through slides quickly? Just one or two?
Yeah, sure.
See, they are actually okay. They are changing now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything's fine. Okay. Thank
Perfect.
you, Sasha.
I stopped sharing so my colleague can take over.
Okay, Peter, you can share your screen.
Okay, perfect.
Hold on. How do I switch?
Space.
And how do I go? With the with the arrows, yeah. Okay.
And one more questions. Am I visible during the?
Yes, in the upper right corner of those visitors that are watching through the platform itself.
Okay. And when do we start? Do I? In a
In a
minute.
minute, yeah, in a minute or two, I will introduce you.
Yes, I just, yeah, I'll be back in 20 seconds.
What can you do in 20 seconds?
Peter, just for your information, we are live right now, so.
Oh, sorry.
Nevertheless, good atmosphere is good for our visitors as well while they are waiting.
15 seconds.
Okay, it remains a mystery forever.
Okay, I think that we are all set up, so we can proceed. Dear visitors, welcome back to Sherlock Holmes Hall for this today's third and final presentation. Today with us we have a team, not only Mr. Sasha, but Mr. Peter will join as well to this presentation of a company named entitled Avigilon, basically Motorola Solutions standing behind the whole project. The name and title of the presentation is Avigilon's Artificial Intelligence Powered Security Solutions in a response to the craziest year in the century. The speech will mainly focus on the latest features introduced in Avigilon Control Center and the most recent development achieved in terms of Avigilon's NVR portfolio. Regarding its literature, it will be addressed to the salesperson whose drive is to offer the most advanced and reliable security solutions to his or her clients. Dear colleagues, welcome to the Security Summit. The stage is yours. Welcome.
Thank you. Good day, everybody. So, yes, I think the concept drives the product, and this is what I would like to focus on today. However, obviously, we need to understand the features, the products, the devices behind the concept. This is what we're going to configure on the field. This is what we sell. But I think the concept is something what we need to understand first, and this is what we sell. This is what our customers value the most. Okay, I think everybody is familiar with this concept. I mean, what we can see on the screen right now, it's quite a challenge if you agree with me. I mean, and this kind of challenge is becoming higher and higher. Okay, we are increasing the number of cameras, and we are increasing the overall resolution of the cameras to be able to cover wider and larger areas, to have situational awareness, and to be able to identify what exactly is happening within the field of view. And such amount of information, if you agree with me, is something becoming impossible to process by any human being. If you ask me, I could watch this monitor wall for probably 20 minutes, and after that, there's no way I will catch any important event on this monitor wall. So the idea is we need some kind of help. We need something or somebody, I mean, in this case, remain at the thing, that takes that burden off from our shoulders, that helps us processing this huge amount of data. Okay. So first, to overcome this challenge, we introduced this alarm interface in ACC. So we are talking about the VMS side of the system architecture. And this supposed to be, and this was good solution for years. This was a dedicated interface where the operators received the alarms and immediately have been informed on what's happening in a specific area of the facility. Okay, they needed, I mean, the user needed to pre-configure alarms or let's say filters, something like crossing a virtual line or entering into a zone, or exiting a zone, leaving an area. We have quite a few filters we can apply on the field, and once the rule, or once something happened that we pre-programmed, the software automatically triggered this alarm and gathered the operator's attention so they could react immediately. Okay, but as I said, with the increasing number of cameras and with the increasing number of their resolutions, this approach became not really effective. Okay, after a certain point, this approach became outdated, let's say. This is why we introduced the focus of attention interface. And if you ask me, this is the main concept our solution is based on. And this kind of approach helps our customers to be able to detect, verify events, and then act accordingly. Okay. If you see those hexagons in the web GUI, in the user interface, each hexagon represents a camera. Okay, and the hexagon color is telling us exactly what is happening within the field of view of that camera that hexagon represents. In this specific case, we see a lot of gray hexagons, which means there's no motion. Okay, so if I look at this figure, I can immediately see that, okay, there are a lot of areas within the facility where there's nothing happening. And if you ask me, that is a lot of information. I mean, nothing happening somewhere is something to be good to be aware of. Okay, but more importantly, if something relevant happens, that is highlighted with a more eye-catching color, such as red. Okay, like a red dot with even more reddish frame around it indicates that something really important is happening within the field of view, and it immediately catches the operator's attention. And this is what the focus of attention interface is about, and this is basically our main concept, that each and every hexagon behaves as a I like to compare these with robots, okay, like artificial intelligence based robots, which are the cameras actually, or yeah, mostly the cameras on the edge, or devices, let's say, on the edge. These devices are filtering a lot of information, classifying objects for us. I mean, Sasha will talk about it later. And they provide us the filtered information. And this is what we see in the screen. Okay, this is just another representation. I mean, if we have multiple monitors in front of us, it provides us even a more convenient overview on what's happening within the site. Okay, but I've seen this interface in real life projects where the number of cameras exceeded the number of 300. And if you imagine, looking at this one simple image and seeing 300 of these hexagons, again, immediately you have an overview about what is happening, how busy the scene is, how many important actions are happening. And, as I said, it is also an information if nothing is happening. So if I look at this figure, in 1 second, I have a very good, very reliable overview on what is happening. And I can focus really on those which are matter the most to me. Let's dig a bit deeper in terms of this. Okay, so I said different colors represent different kind of events. So we can differentiate motion detection, simple pixel-based, unusual motion detection, or unusual activity detection, which is displayed with this, I don't know, light bluish color. And it refers to anything unusual, really unusual size, unusual location, unusual speed. Something is running in a shopping mall instead of walking. That's unusual. Something is going to another direction. which is unusual, etc., etc. Immediately the system provides feedback about these events, okay, on the focus of attention interface. Video analytics rules, such as somebody enters into an area, somebody crosses a line, somebody exits or leaves an area also. These are the predefinable filters what we can set within ACC, and these events are represented by this color, this light bluish color in the interface. And also alarms, okay, alarms are indicated with red, and I think these are the highest level of events what we need to immediately react on. This is all adjustable, what we consider as an alarm. And then with the further development of ACC, we introduced such features as face matching or face recognition. So we have a whole database behind this. We can roll in our face profiles into ACC, and if there is a match with the database, it can be shown in the focus of attention interface immediately. And as you see on the linked image, there's a reference image and there's the live image from the camera, okay, to show the operator, you know, what the system found. Okay, so face matching by default, when there's no alarm linked to it, is shown with a yellow color with a darker yellow frame around it. So again, it's very eye-catching immediately if somebody enters who I want to be aware of. Even I have hundreds of cameras, it's very easy, very simple to see where this person is, where this person have been detected within the facility. Okay, so obviously there is a very sophisticated technology behind this, how I organize the groups. I can create blacklists, whitelists, any unlimited amount of reference lists, and I can decide which profiles trigger alarm, which profiles just trigger an event, and, you know, I can program the system how to warn me and how to act if, you know, there's a match with the database. Okay, a good number to remember is that 5,000 face profiles can be uploaded into an ACC site, which is something we haven't reached yet. I'm looking forward to it. Also, we introduced the no mask detection. Okay, so this is again something that the focus of attention interface can notify us about. If somebody is not wearing a mask, immediately it can pop up, and also I can link an alarm to it. So again, there is a very short time needed until I get notification about such an event. Okay, in terms of the technology, obviously it requires, in terms of face recognition or no mask detection, obviously it requires devices on the edge. Today, as I don't really have the time to talk about these, but it requires our NVRs, our cameras, our software, our licenses. There's a whole bunch of technology devices behind this technology, but at the end of the day, again, the concept is very similar. Provide alert the operator, provide feedback immediately. Okay, something that is linked to this focus of attention interface as well is the license plate recognition function. This is something we have for a long time in our portfolio, but we linked the license plate recognition to the focus of attention interface. The concept behind this is pretty much the same as it is with the face matching or face recognition. So there are unlimited amount of groups where we can organize the license plates, and if there is a match, we can decide the software what to do. Okay, this is all programmable in the ACC. So overall, this is the concept what we develop further, and this has this took over the alarms concept. So as you see, we sort of migrated the alarms interface into the face of attention interface, and we keep improving it. We're trying to make it even more convenient for the operators to watch it. I mean, we are trying to filter out duplicating events, for example. We are making sure that the alarms are always received. You know, the operators and even their management or even top management is notified if there is an alarm. We need to force our operators, for instance, to acknowledge an alarm and, you know, add some kind of description. And we can escalate alarms, for example, if the operator is not reacting in time. After a certain amount of time, we can further escalate an alarm to make sure that it is being taken care of. Okay, so again, long story short, this kind of approach is what we are providing to our customers to make sure that they detect in time, they verify in time, and they can act in time, hopefully before something bad happens. You know, whatever the outcome is, something explodes, something gets stolen, I don't know, somebody gets hurt. Okay, this is the whole concept of this technology, is to make sure that we detect and verify and act in time. Okay, focus of attention. So obviously we can decide what we are going to focus on. Okay, all the features what I've mentioned, face, LPR, no mask, alarms, unusual activity, and so on and so on. And these events can be filtered. You know, these are user customizable, which events we would like to focus on the focus of attention interface, and which events we would like to just ignore, which kind of events we don't really care about. And also we can select from which devices, specifically usually from which cameras we want to receive these alarms, and from which we do not really. Okay. We need to think about privacy when we deploy these kind of systems as well, and this is why we introduced a few features which are taking care of this. I mean, it could be the company's policy that they want to retain generally video from pictures taken within the facility for 30 days, but specifically our policy, or the company policy, is dictating that we need to get rid of private data earlier, let's say in a 1-day period. I mean after 24 hours, or after, I don't know, 48 hours, and so on. And this is something what we can set in ACC now. So how long I want the software or the database to keep a data which is linked to a personality or a person. This is individually adjustable from the general storage time or retention time. Okay. The same applies to face recognition. I mean, you know, there is an expiry date we can set in terms of each and every face profile, just to make sure that we do not breach into somebody's privacy, or, you know, we handle this kind of data in a controlled way. Okay. Now, in terms of integration, I am sure everybody is aware of this technology, or this protocol ONVIF, and just, you know, in a nutshell, we make sure, our developers make sure that we keep up with the standard. You know, we deliver the latest functionalities what the ONVIF organization releases. So, and this applies to the latest technologies that are getting implemented into the profile, like H.265 support and so on. It's just you know, ACC and our technology is always up to date with these standards. Sasha will probably talk about this more, but, you know, with the development of our cameras, of our analytics, mainly, we introduced subclasses. Okay, we are not just able to differentiate people and vehicle like it used to be. Now, in terms of vehicles, we can differentiate a lot of subcategories, such as bikes, cars, motorcycles, buses, and trucks. Okay, and the ACC has been prepared to be able to handle these subcategories, and we can initiate searches based on these subcategories from now on. Okay, also we are keep developing our appearance search functionality based on this new feature. Obviously, we are able to define what kind of objects we are looking for. Okay, so we introduced in terms of people, you know, the gender, you know, what gender we are looking for. For example, if we initiate a search, I would like to find somebody in the past 3 hours, or it could be even 24 hours, you know, we can define the searching criteria such as gender, hair color, you know, color of the clothes, and also, you know, in terms of vehicles, the subtypes or the vehicle type and its color. So this kind of feature immensely improves how accurately we can find some objects in the past, and how quickly. I mean, this kind of technology saves a hell of a lot of time for end users, you know, a lot of resources in terms of investigations or looking for a specific object. Okay, you just have to know that we are continuously increasing the accuracy of our engines, let's say. So we introduced a lot of new features in terms of license plate recognition, new plates, and also our license plate recognition works a bit more reliably with this new release in challenging environments where, you know, the fall-in angle between the license plate and the camera is slightly wider than the ideal. Okay, so, you know, there's a bigger tolerance in terms of license plate recognition in the latest ACC releases. We must talk about cybersecurity for a few minutes, and this is one of the key points when we discuss about the solution. I mean, you know, we need to make sure that our security, you know, industry product is secure enough. So we introduced a lot of functions in terms of that. First thing first, from 2020, we are changing our policy in terms of default username and password. So from now on, for each and every, I mean, it can be a bulk addition, but the main thing is that the user must change the default username and password of their cameras. I mean, there's no factory default, and by that way, you know, accidentally leaving the default username and password for the camera is not possible. So, you know, this ensures that somebody who's aware of the default username, factory default username and password cannot breach into our system, cannot breach our let's say defense. Okay. Also, we introduced a few user-related functions, such as, you know, being able to view recorded images, or being able to view high-resolution images. This is more for privacy, but it has some security-related features or benefits as well. Okay, again, in terms of privacy, when somebody is exporting a footage that has been queried by appearance search technology, we can automatically blur the surroundings. So make sure that, you know, the surroundings privacy remains intact, and we can only focus on the target subject. Okay, two-factor authentication. I think it's pretty straightforward for everybody. We introduced this in the ACC, so you know it requires a more secure. I mean, it prompts a more secure login for those users who has access to the platform. Okay, also dual authentication. This is very useful if we define different user groups with different rights, and you know we don't necessarily want a lower level user to have access to recordings or higher resolution images. So we could request a higher level user to log in if there is a need for example, exporting a video from the software, and this is all audited. Okay, so the system keeps track of the logs on what is happening in such a situation, so that way we can ensure again even security and privacy at the same time with this feature. Okay, we introduced the password strength indicator, which prompts our users to provide higher security passwords as their username and password, for example. So 1234 now is not really an option for people to use as a password. I mean, we encourage our customers to use much more complicated passwords, which are almost impossible to break. Okay, yeah, so I already mentioned this, that everything that a user does during its shift in the software in ACC is becoming audited. Okay, so we keep logging on each and every event what they do within ACC, and this can be queried, filtered, and exported to as proof if it's needed. Okay, and finally the FIPS mode. Very brief. I don't know if you're familiar with this standard. This is, I could say, the highest security standard available in the globe right now, and we are compliant with it. This ensures that there is an encryption between all the main components of the system, like servers, cameras, and clients. So from now on, there's an option for an organization to encrypt data between all the main components of their system. And you know, if this is applied, I cannot say it's impossible to hack the system, but we really give a hard time for those who will try it. Okay, with this feature introduced. But in general, I encourage everybody to use just a very complicated password. Okay, in terms of our NVR portfolio, we introduced a couple of new units as well. This is the current model or current portfolio, what we have. A lot of familiar names, I am sure. There are some Windows-based units, and there are some Vigilant Hardened OS-based units in our portfolio. Just a few words about these. So in terms of the edge solution recorders, there are a couple of devices which are end of life, and we introduced a new portfolio, and this comes licenseless. I mean, we have the option to apply licenses the way we want to, and this way these can be customized, to better meet with the user demands, okay, or user desires. In terms of onboard, I would say usually this is used in environments where there is no moving part or allowed or recommended, or not moving parts will fail in a quite short amount of time. So this rugged NVR has been designed for this kind of environment specifically, and there's no moving parts inside. So this is really for those environments where we need a ruggedized fashion unit, and such as moving vehicles or, I don't know, industrial environments, for example. Also, we introduced the NVR 4X series, which is, if you ask me, it's a refreshment of our NVR 4 series recorders. It's basically providing more security, more reliability, and it's basically keeping up with the technological developments in, parallel with our industry. I'm talking about IT and computing technologies. The main thing in terms of these is that these units are in our system architecture in a way that they are specifically able to provide those features what we offer to our customers to control their environment and make sure that they keep it safe. Okay, so these features are license plate recognition, facial recognition, appearance search, and all those functions like unusual activity detection, different kind of classified object detections, detecting subcategory. All the features I was talking about in the beginning of my presentations are provided by these units as well. So these units play a major role to deliver these functions to the user, and yeah, our product development is working hard to put these units together in a form that where these units can work without any failure, without stopping, without making any inconvenient situations for the customer. So it's very reliable, very well tested units. And if something I would like you to take home with you in terms of this session, this would be it. I mean, these numbers here are unmatched. I mean, very unique, very specific, industry leading numbers, if you ask me. So this is the performance of the new NVR4, a premium and standard NVR. So by using these units, it is possible to use appearance search on 200 cameras or 150 cameras, and on 50 cameras face recognition. Okay, so this is a very impressive number, and as you see, this is something that unique in the industry. Okay, and just the last unit I would like to introduce is the AI NVR, which is a completely new product. I would say this is a wonderful unit in order to bring those customers on board who started with some cameras or some technologies which do not have implemented artificial intelligence inside, okay, such as object classification, object categorization, face recognition, or appearance search. So these units can run video analytics on those cameras, on those devices, which by default do not have this kind of capability on board. Okay, so these NVRs can add our analytics to the equation and deliver those functions in ACC, what I introduced, and also they come with a hardened operating system, increasing the security to the highest level. Okay, we are at the half of the hour, so that was all I wanted to say, and I would like to pass the word on to my colleague Sasha.
Thank you, Peter. As Peter mentioned, the topic of our presentation was a Vigilance AI-powered security solution in response to the craziest year in the century. And he focused on our software solution and our NVRs, or recording solutions. I will be based on our new releases of camera portfolio and also of Avigilon cloud services, and what you get if you have everything from Avigilon, not including cameras, because we are only compliable, so we can integrate it third-party devices, but using our cameras with our NVRs or appliances connected to cloud, we have a huge amount of opportunities which we get from Avigilon free of charge. So I would hope you all see my screen. I would like to say a few words about our camera portfolio. We have a wide range of cameras, which include from bullet box, dome cameras, PTZ, various kinds of PTZ, long range IR, to our newest release, which I will talk about in a few minutes. Fisheye cameras, multi-sensor cameras, cameras with integrated SSD hard drives for, like, we call it an edge solution recording cameras, to video intercoms. In the first row, you can see all of our cameras which are in our portfolio, and in the second row, I highlighted all the new releases in all our releases from within the last year, which includes our mini dome camera, our new H4 thermal VGA camera, explosion protected cameras, body worn cameras, our new H5 Pro series, which now goes up to 61 megapixels in one camera with one sensor. And our newest release, the H5 PTZ, and the 5th generation of the corner camera. So let's start. Our Avigilon's H5M camera provides a cost-effective solution for, how would I say, low-budget video security applications that don't require too much analytics, by meaning too much if the end user or the customer is satisfied with pixel motion. And we added some artificial intelligence to it, which is called the UMD, or unusual motion technology, to it. The camera is for outdoor and indoor appliances. It has built-in an IR illuminator, which goes up to 15 meters. Also, the camera has H2 H.264 and H.265 licensed compressions options with our patented smart codec functionality. What is, I'd say, a key point for this camera is that no tools are needed for the installation. Like all of our camera portfolios, this camera is OMIF compliant and comes with a 5-year warranty. This is our new release of our thermal camera with integrated video analytics for classified object detection, which now has almost double the resolution, providing a much better image and much better detection rates. It can go up to 310 meters with the detection of classified objects. It comes with IP67 and IK10 rated enclosure. Of course, it is OMIF compliant and also with a 5-year warranty. Here is our newest release, which we didn't have in our portfolio, and these cameras are meant to be used in hazardous location, where we have the potential of some gases or dust to be in a hazardous area where explosion can be expected. It doesn't mean that this camera is explosion proof. It's only meant that it can be mounted in locations where explosion can happen, and by its design and everything else, it can be mounted in such environments. It comes with our newest release of video analytics, the fifth generation. We call it the next generation of video analytics because our previous version was pattern-based. This one is based on convolutional neural networks, which is currently the highest rated video analytic algorithm currently on the market, which can detect persons and subtypes of vehicles, which include cars, trucks, bicycles, motorcycles, and buses. For the EMEA region, the camera is certified with the ATEX and ECAX certification. Sorry. It has a high security level grade of protection for gas group and dust groups of atmosphere where explosions can happen. Also, this camera is IP69, AK10 impact proof, and corrosion proof with the certificate of NEMA 4X and 6P. Also, these cameras are OMIF compliant and comes with a standard warranty, which we introduced with our 5th generation with a 5-year warranty. Also, a new release in our camera portfolio is are the body-worn cameras, which currently are in high demand, especially for workers or people who are frontliners, facing with various potential abuses in public. The camera has up to 3 hours of recording. It has integrated Wi-Fi streaming capabilities. There can be up to 100 different Wi-Fi networks, which can be pre-programmed on the camera. So when somebody is walking in a large space where one Wi-Fi router isn't enough, the camera switches between these routers automatically. This is our newest release. We announced this camera 15 days ago. This is our flagship camera, which goes to a resolution of 10K, which is 61 megapixels into one image sensor. It has both H.264 and H.65 smart compression rates with our patented smart codec, which reduces the bandwidth amount used by the camera significantly, which is very, in my opinion, it's very good that the camera has such option because of the high resolution it has. Also, with the 5th generation of the Pro camera, we also introduced WDR, or wide dynamic range, which our previous model didn't have. Also, the camera supports smart analytics, which is facial recognition, unusual activity detection, appearance search, and COVID-19 response, which we announced a few months ago within this situation that we are facing every day now. As all of our other cameras, this camera is also OMIP compliant and comes with a 5-year warranty. Also, a new release is the H5 pan-tilt zoom camera, which now goes up to 8 megapixel, which is very high, taking into care that our last camera was 2 megapixel, the max resolution in PTZ. Only a few producers came up to this resolution within a PTZ camera. It also comes with H.264 and H.265 licensed compressions options, also having the ability to use motion JPEG. Frame rates for the 8 megapixel go up to 30 frames, and for the 2 and 4 megapixel options go up to 60 frames. This camera also provides various analytic options based on the home position, which are temper detection, classified object detection, unusual activity detection, appearance search, facial recognition, no face mask detection, and occupancy counting. Although this is maybe 5 days old, that we announced the finally a release of corner camera, which has a very wide angle, so that dead angles are not an option for it. It comes with a vandal resistant and IK10 plus rated stainless steel housing, which can take up hits up to 50 joules. And it comes in 2 variants. One is with white steel and one is with stainless steel. In the stainless steel option, we have also the NEMA 4X certification, which makes the camera corrosion resistant. Also, a new release is that we have integrated to our camera an invisible IR LED light, which makes the camera, even at night, more or less invisible. It is very easy to clean and repair the camera by, how would I say, it's modular. So we have only to unscrew the screws at the front to change the entire camera if needed, or to change the front plate if it is somehow damaged. This year, we also announced the release of our Avigilon cloud services, which can be integrated with our ACC servers. And with this option, we are able to receive system health alerts to maximize uptime and downtime of our sites. It is meant for users who have a large number of sites, so they can take care of them by logging into one cloud platform and having access and visibility to all of the servers connected to it. Also, it comes with a web-browsed web client. So from the cloud platform, we are able to see even cameras and recordings on them. So the main features that provide the Avigilon cloud is system health monitoring, maintenance services, cloud-based SDK to centralize third-party ACC integration, to simplify management of large number of sites. And also, we are planning to announce very shortly a remote upgrade of sites, and also taking care, for example, for system integrators, for their customers, so they can have a look at all sites, if all hard drives are healthy, how is the system performing. If some alarms occurred, they can proactively call the end user and tell him about the problems seen on their systems. So, powered by AI, everything that we heard from Peter with the ACC software, with the NVRs, and from my side, the cameras and the cloud services are all based to provide the end user or the customer the maximum benefit of artificial intelligence, which we can classify by, first of all, from cameras or third-party cameras if we use our new release of AI NVR, the classified object detection, the appearance search functionality, face recognition, no face mask detection, and occupancy counting. The dependencies would be, we must have a camera that can firstly classify objects to provide more services, which in the second tier would be appearance search and occupancy counting. And after appearance search, because the algorithm of appearance search now with the high resolution is also based by doing the face recognition internally and getting much better results and making the system more precise, and the face mask detection, of course. So as Peter mentioned, we provide all these with our NVRs and cameras. The newest generation of video analytics can now classify up to 50 objects simultaneously. It gives a great performance in low light. Also, the sub-classification of vehicles by cars, trucks, buses, motorcycles, and bicycles is possible. Our patented appearance search technology, which gives us two possibilities. In a recorded video, if we see a suspected vehicle or person, we can search in time for that person in the future or in the past, or by physical description, typing into the system. We saw a person that has a blue jacket, brown hair, the gender is male, and let the system search for him, her, or an vehicle. Also, we have unusual motion, which is based on position of the detected object, the speed and location, and also unusual activity detection, which we will hopefully very soon in the future give access to aggression behavior, or for slip and fall detection. If somebody slips and falls, so the system will be able to notify the user of any unusual activity detection. We also plan to introduce gun detection. And that will, every camera that currently has the ability of unusual motion and activity detection will get these features once we release them. Also, our patented LPR, which now also uses convolutional neural networks for recognition, which can more or less worldwide read every license plate. In the EMEA region, more or less every single license plate can be read at this point. If not, we have a developer team which will be more than happy to integrate also the missing plates.
Sasha, sorry for interrupting you, but we have like 5 minutes till the end of your presentation.
Okay.
I would just briefly join in as well. Since this is the last lecture, I think that we can pass the time slot.
Okay, maybe I have
Okay, that's great. I just needed Amar's confirmation. Okay.
Okay, thanks. So also this year we released our facial recognition, which is now used also by the appearance search, by, I would say, by every AI-based video analytic function we have, and where it can be used to better detect and find people. What we have to mention this year is that we responded really fast, giving almost all options free of charge, is the COVID-19 response technology, which includes social distancing. So our H5A and H4A cameras can now measure the distance and tell us where are the hotspots where the social distancing is not, where are the hotspots where people are within 1.5 meters passing by each other. Also, we introduced the face mask detection. We also introduced the detected elevated skin temperature, which is an addition to our thermal cameras. Portfolio, the occupancy counting, which now measures how many people we can tell the system, okay, this part of some space can have maximum of 30 people, and no matter how many entries or exits we have, if we set up the system good, the system will count for us how many people are currently in the building and tell us when the limit is reached, and pop up a window that nobody can go into the place because it has reached its limit. Also within this are the body-worn cameras, which we talked about. So the main point I would like to say about this COVID-19 response is that it comes with no additional cost. All we have to do is, for some of these technologies, we need to have an NVR with an integrated module, a graphic card, which is used on the NVR side or the appliance side for doing video analytics. We should have a camera that is analytic capable, and also for some of these features, connection to the cloud, because currently, as I can say, for the occupancy counting, we are not able to do it on the server or the client side. It is done on the cloud only. So we have a dashboard on our cloud which do all the countings, the reportings, and everything else for it. Okay, we are at the end. So the social distancing, I didn't mention, so our cameras are now able to very precise measure the distance between detected classified objects.
Просто GPS RPG, kao ide po svijetu i krljaš se.
Okay.
Can you mute, please, the mic?
Face mask detection.
I'm sorry.
Also mentioned, and here are, depending on the technology we want to use, what are the requirements by our system. And I repeat, it comes without any additional cost to the end user or the partner. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sasha. Thank you, Peter, for this insightful presentation on your side with a bunch of details regarding the whole procedure and processes that you have in place behind your products. For now, I will just pinpoint 3 questions for you if you have time. I believe that in 5 minutes we can be done and well answered regarding these. The first one says, how does face recognition function when someone wears a mask? What is being scanned?
Yes, so Sasha, if you don't mind, I take that first. I mean, you can add anything you want anytime. Personally, I've conducted a test in terms of this, and we still received recognition. We still received events when somebody was wearing a mask from those individuals whose profile was in the face recognition group, but obviously the accuracy could go down. But in terms of recognition, we analyze the full face, every feature the face has, from its top to bottom, if you like, okay, from the from the top of the head to the chin. If it's covered partially by the mask, we can still match faces with the database, but as I said, the accuracy could be obviously lower, or the false positives, let's say, could be higher.
Actually happen to some degree. Understood.
Yes.
The second question reads, what industry would benefit the most from IE NVR product?
Yes. If you ask me, I would say it's not really dependent, or not really depends on the industry. It really depends on the actual situation of the customer, of the site, of the facility, what is being equipped with CCTV cameras, no matter what brand. So the idea of the AI NVR is that somebody who has who's increasing in camera numbers and in resolutions, and did not deploy any analytics, okay, did not deploy any artificial intelligence, or there is no way to add artificial intelligence to their system, the AI and VR can be a solution to solve that problem. You know, to install that AI and VR and add video analytics, object classification, and you know, all those features what Sasha mentioned, such as, you know, classified object detection, appearance search, face detection, and no face mask detection, and so on. So to add these functions to that system. Okay, this AI and VR will play an essential role. It's a fantastic combination between recorders and let's say analytics boxes, if you like.
All clear. The third question is actually a look for advice on your side from some of our visitors. It says, what camera video surveillance system would you recommend for a medium-sized company which has approximately 200 meters in diameter in total, combining headquarters with parking lots together? So what do you recommend out of your product line?
Okay, Peter, if you don't mind, I would answer this because it's related to the camera portfolio. First of all, if the security of the company property is the main feature, we should have a fence around it. I would suggest doing it with simple, if it is 200 meters in diameter, then we can do with 4 thermal cameras surrounding the object, for which we will use for detection purposes, and putting, depending on the situation of the object, putting maybe 2 PTZ cameras for video verification. When we have an intruder detected by the thermal camera, the PTZ camera will automatically go to this spot, to that zone where it was detected, and show us a visual video verification of the detected object. For the parking lots, if it is a huger parking space, maybe with 1, instead of using 10 cameras, with 1 pro camera, we can cover huge spots, huge spaces within only 1 camera, which reduces the installation cost, the maintenance cost, by having only 1 camera, 1 cable. And also the camera will provide to us video analytic features. So
it all depends on the bosses from the company what they want.
Like this.
Yeah. Actually, Sasha's response, we can conclude this session. I would like to direct all visitors to your virtual booth because you are a diamond sponsor of this event. So they can not only connect with you via B2B meetings, but as well use the button connect with exhibitor and send their business card details to you so you can review it afterwards, after the event, and schedule some other Skype, Zoom, or whatever you prefer, and meet with them to answer the questions, provide helpful insights regarding the product line, and provide some advices. If you don't have anything else to add, I would like to introduce you to the final greeting on your side to all the visitors. Please.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for providing us the opportunity to hold such a side event. I would thank all the audience and my colleague Peter.
Peter.
Thank you all for your attention. It's
Thank
our
you,
pleasure.
gentlemen. All the best.
All the
Please
best.
stay in touch.
Bye.